All right, let's jump right in. Inside your body, right now, there's this incredible piece of biological engineering that's working nonstop just to keep you alive. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the unsung hero of your health, the human kidney.
Okay, I'm going to start with a number that is probably going to blow your mind. 180 liters. Yeah, you heard that right. That's almost 48 gallons. And that is the insane amount of blood your kidneys are filtering every single day. Just let that sink in for a second.
So you're probably asking, how is that even possible? Well, it's because your kidneys are basically your body's master filter. We're talking about a super sophisticated, tireless purification system that's on the job 24/7, just to keep you healthy.
So where are these things? Well, they're tucked away on either side of your spine, right below your rib cage. You've got these two little bean-shaped powerhouses, and their job? It never stops. It's to constantly, meticulously, clean your blood and keep the chemical balance in your body absolutely perfect.
Okay, so to really get how amazing this is, we've got to look under the hood, right? Let's peel back the layers and take a little trip from the outside of the kidney all the way deep into its core.
So just like any complex machine, the kidney's got its own plumbing. It's pretty straightforward, actually. You have the renal artery. Think of that as the in pipe. It brings all the unfiltered blood in. Then you've got the renal vein, which is the out pipe, taking all that nice clean blood out. And the ureter, that's the drain. It's where all the waste exits. Super simple and incredibly efficient.
Now, if we were to slice a kidney right open, you'd see three main parts. The outer shell, that's called the renal cortex. Then as you move inward, you've got these sort of fan-shaped sections. That's the renal medulla. And finally, everything funnels into the very center, this area called the renal pelvis, where all the waste collects.
But here's the thing. The real magic, the really cool stuff, it happens at a level you can't even see with your eyes. So let's leave the big picture behind for a minute and zoom way, way down. I mean microscopic level, to meet the true workhorse of the kidney. It's called the nephron.
And what's just mind-boggling here is the sheer number of these things. Each one of your kidneys is packed with about 1 million of these little microscopic filtering units. 1 million. That means you've got something like 2 million nephrons working for you this very second. It's incredible.
So the first piece of this tiny machine is called the glomerulus. The best way to picture it is like a super tight tangled ball of tiny capillaries. And it's under high pressure. That pressure literally forces stuff like water, salts, and waste out of the blood. It's basically the initial sieve, a really high-tech one.
Okay, so all that stuff gets pushed out. Where does it go? Well, it gets caught immediately by this next part, the Bowman's capsule. And it's perfectly designed for the job. It's shaped just like a little cup that wraps around the glomerulus to catch everything that just got filtered. From that little cup, the fluid then goes into this long, U-shaped tube called the loop of Henle. Now this is where the kidney gets really smart. See, it's not just about tossing stuff out. In this loop, it starts actively pulling the good stuff, like essential water and salts, back into your blood. This is what keeps you from getting dehydrated and keeps your body's chemistry in perfect balance.
So after all that careful processing, the filtering, the reabsorbing, what's left over? You've got the concentrated waste and any extra water. And all of that flows into what's called the collecting duct. This is pretty much the final stop inside the nephron, where all the waste from tons of these little units gets gathered together.
All right, so we've met all the parts. Now let's put it all together. Let's see how these tiny nephrons actually clean your blood. It's a really elegant three-step process.
So how exactly does the nephron decide what to keep and what to toss? It's definitely not random. You can think of it like a perfectly choreographed 3-act play. Let's get into it.
It really boils down to these 3 steps. First up, you've got filtration. That's the sieving we talked about happening in the glomerulus. Step 2 is reabsorption. This is the super smart part, where your body reclaims all the good stuff, water, glucose, vitamins, you name it. And finally, step 3 is secretion. This is like the last chance to toss out any extra junk, actively pumping leftover waste from the blood into what will become urine. And this chart here just lays it out so perfectly. It shows you just how selective the kidneys are. Look on the left, that's all the good stuff your body works so hard to reclaim. Water, glucose, vitamins, amino acids. Then look on the right. That's the waste that gets the boot. Things like urea, extra salts, excess water, and other toxins. So once that whole 3-step dance is done, and remember, this is happening in millions of nephrons at once, all that's left is the final product. The waste is all bundled up, and it's ready to be kicked out of the body. And here's how it makes its grand exit. That fluid, which, we now call urine, gathers in that central funnel, the renal pelvis. From there, it's a one-way trip down the ureter and into the bladder, where it's stored. It's just a perfect non-stop cycle of cleaning up and taking out the trash.
You know, there's this great quote from a kidney expert, Homer W. Smith, and he absolutely nailed it. He said, "The kidneys are the master chemists of the body." And that's so true. They're not just dumb filters. They really are master chemists, constantly analyzing your blood and adjusting it with just stunning precision.
And that brings us to a final thought, something for you to take away. This incredible system is working for you 24/7, but it really needs one simple thing from you to do its job well, and that's water. So the question I'll leave you with is this: are you giving your body's master chemists the tools they actually need to keep you healthy?